Mam jedno pytanie odnośnie medytacji i tych podróży poza ciałem, OBI, czy one są niebezpieczne? Szczególnie przy OBI, czy trzeba mieć jakieś zabezpieczenie i tak dalej. Tom, the question is about meditation and OBEs. Are they dangerous? And especially with OBEs, before experiences, should he have some security measures in order to make sure to come back, etc., etc.?
Okay. Well, the short answer is no. But I never give an answer that short. Meditation and out-of-body are really two different things, but one leads to another. But there's no danger in either one per se. The only danger that you will find is the danger that you bring to it. And that is, if you come to either meditation or out-of-body with fear, if you're very fearful, then you may have a very fearful experience. And that fearful experience can do you some harm, in the sense that you can come out of that experience more frightened than you were before you started. And since the point of our being here is to get rid of fear, you've just gone the opposite direction. So that's a problem, particularly in out-of-body. Well, maybe we'll just deal with the meditation first. Problems people have in meditation is that they will find that they're looking at themselves in a very unvarnished way. Meditation allows you to get aware of, up close and personal with, your own consciousness. And people sometimes will get to that up close and personal with their own consciousness, and they won't like what they see. It's not a pretty sight. And when they do, they find that intimidating and they find that frightening, and they don't want to meditate anymore. So that's one risk. It's better to not force yourself to do things that you feel intuitively that you don't want to do. So if somebody says, yeah, you should learn to meditate, you need to do that, and your intuition says, oh, I don't think so, then you should probably listen to your intuition. You may not be ready yet. But if it's your fear that's saying, I don't think so, maybe you ought to try anyway, but go cautiously. Okay, go cautiously. Is that it'll make you even more fearful than you were before. Now, out-of-body is a different sort of animal. Out-of-body, you're likely to run into other entities. You'll be in other reality frames, and you are in a space there where your intent manifests things very quickly and very easily. Here, I said your intent will modify future probability. There, your intent will create that future instantly, almost. It's a much stronger effect. So if you go there and you are frightened, you're worried, well, this is a new reality. I don't know what's in there. Maybe they're hostile beings. Maybe they'll take over my body. Maybe I won't come back. And you have all this fear. What you will find are fearful things. If you're fearful, you'll find monsters with, two heads and big teeth, and very threatening things will take place, and you'll find beings who are dark and fog coming off of them and black smoke all around them and bright red eyes and big long teeth and things like that, and they'll look at you and give you that eyeball, and you'll scream and run away. You'll find all that drama going on, but that's just your fear. Your fear is manifesting in that form, okay? So if you don't have that fear, then that won't happen. Now, people use affirmations to help make their journeys safe. An affirmation is you say something to the effect of, I only want to interact with other beings who are more highly evolved than I am and will only have my best interest at heart. Okay, so that's like, I only want this to be positive. I don't want any bad guys or bad girls or anything chatting with me. The affirmation is there because you have fear. And you basically try to nullify the fear with the affirmation. The affirmation is a tool. So if you're fearful, then that affirmation makes you feel okay. Because, all right, I know there's scary things out there, but I said my affirmation, so now it's going to be okay. So then it is okay. Unless you think, I'm not sure my affirmation works. Do affirmations really work? And then your affirmation won't make it okay. So you see, we're talking about mind games that we're playing with ourselves to deal with our own fears. So if you don't have any fear, if it's like, well, it'll be whatever it is, I'll come back. If I don't, I don't. If there's big things and they eat me, well, that's okay too. I'll just deal with whatever happens and it won't be a problem. And you have that attitude, then you don't need an affirmation. And nothing will bother you because you're not fearful. So the thing you have to worry about is your fear. So that's the biggest thing. You will always come back. You don't have to worry about not coming back. But you may have problems coming back in your own mind. If you're familiar with Bob Monroe's work, he reports one experience of his where he was out on his way back and ran into a wall. Too high to get over, too long to get around. Couldn't go under it either. He was stuck on the other side of this wall and just couldn't get back. It's like, oh no, now what do I do? That wall was a manifestation of his fear of not being able to come back. That was a fear, not a real big fear of his, but it was in there. And when it got triggered, the wall got built between him and back. So Bob also stuck his hand through a hole once that appeared in reality, and he stuck his hand in and something put a big hook in his hand. And that's his fear of the unknown on the other side of the hole. So yes, you will have scary experiences if you have a lot of fear. Then you're probably not ready yet. You probably ought to wait until you deal with your fear first.